interested in the fractions. Now, this is theoretically a class in Excel, but um, classes in Excel. But now I'm starting to add fractions and how you can do them in Excel, learn them in Excel. You can do them on a paper. Um, one second. Also, I'm going to share the workbook that we're using for these classes. You'll see the lessons 1 through 8. Some of you already know that, but if I have any newcomers, we're using this workbook. The link is also hello there, in my Twitch homepage, a link to the Google sheet that we're using. But this is the workbook, and click over to lesson 9. Oops, this one. Okay, so now we're on lesson 9. So I thought I'd do a word problem, which is, they're kind of fun, and it's an introduction to fractions. You just figure out how to do them. What's going on here with my phone? I'm not going to take too much time. I'm going to try to do this straight through so I don't have to edit. All right, let's begin. So I'll read the word problem. Amira and Misozi went to the U-Pick apple orchard in the rural area of their community. Amira collected 16 apples. Her petite friend was only able to reach and pick 2 apples from a tree and collected 2 more she found on the ground. What fraction of the apples did Amira collect? What fraction did Misozi collect? Simplify the results. A simplified fraction is a fraction reduced to its lowest or least common denominator. So, first of all, before we even start, the top number is the numerator and the bottom number is the denominator. So we'll start with that. Now, with this word problem, you got to use a little of your logic. There's a lot of information, so you discard the useless information. You only want the mathematical part. That's kind of the fun and the challenge, and it gets your brain working. So, Amira and Miss Sosi went to the U-Pick apple orchard. So look for the math part. That first sentence, I don't see any math in there. If you do, please put in the chat. Also, any questions. So Amira collected 16 apples. So we know that there's some math there. Her petite friend, and we discard that that's Amira. We now know that the petite friend is Misozi. Again, you're using your logic. So her petite friend was only able to reach and pick 2 apples from the tree, and pay attention, collected 2 in writing. It's not the number 2, but it's still 2. So she got how many? 2 plus 2 is 4. She found the other 2 on the ground. What fraction of the apples did Amira collect? So it's not what they picked, because it could be a trick question. And I say, it would be probably, they wouldn't make it that hard. So what fraction of the apples did Amira collect? Okay, first we have to have the total. How many apples are there all together? That'll be the denominator. So let's see, 16 plus 2 plus 2 more, 16 plus 4, 20. So that'll be the denominator. Out of 20 apples, how many did Amira collect? She collected 16 apples. So it's 16 over 20. Then how many did, the other question is, what fraction of the apples, I should highlight it, so, no, that's no good. Yeah, just, what fraction of the apples did Miss Sozi collect? So, number of apples collected by Amira, 16. So you know it's 16 over 20. Miss Sozi collected 2 plus 2 more, 4 over 20. The denominator is the same. It's still out of 20 apples, but you see, and then 16 plus 4 equals 20. So that would be the whole. This is really a review, but please ask questions. If you've learned fractions before, this would be a review. If you've never learned fractions, please ask questions if you don't understand. So that's that. But now we have to simplify the results to the lowest or least common denominator. The 2 denominators have to be the same, and these are, now the way I do it, if you're really good at math, like memorizing fractions in your head, you you find how many times, if it's possible, the the number on top goes into the number on the bottom. So it would be 20 divided by 4 would be 5. But so then the bottom would be, so it would be 1 4 for 5 fours. So if you understand it that way, but I'll tell you an easier way. So it would be 1 over 5. That's the simplified result. We'll get to this later, as you see here. This is the simplified result. But I'm not really great at memorizing fractions, denominators, all that stuff. So first I look. If they're even numbers, directly just keep cutting it by half. So half of 16 is 8, over half of 20 is 10. But you can still half it again, see? So that would be 4. Half of 8 is 4. Half of 10 is 5. So 4/5. Can you break it down any lower? Well, you can't half it. Does 4 go into 5? No. So you know that that's the simplified result for Amira. You'd put a line there like that. So that's the way I used to do it, because I just couldn't keep the math straight. And then over here, it's not over here. So yeah, this is all for these. Okay, so 4/5 would be the simplified result of this number. And then the bottom one, how many were collected out of all the apples were collected by Amira? They were 4 out of 20. And again, you can do it by half. So it would be, if you know math very well, you'll know that 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 5 is 20. Hold on a second. Oh, yeah, that's fine. 4 times, all right, it would be 1/5. That would be the simplified result of this one, because 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 5 is 20. But again, my way of doing it, especially when I was younger and I was bad at multiplication, again, they're both even numbers. So when they're even, just do it by half. So it would be 2 over 10. And it can still go half again. So 1 over 5. And you can check that you have a whole. Let me put the line under here. So see, we have 4/5 and 1/5. 4 plus 1 is 5. So when you add the two fractions, they both have to be the same denominator. So if they're not the same denominator, we'll do that in the next class. You have to make them the same denominator. So 4 plus 1 is 5, and the bottom one stays the same. So that'll be the whole. So 5 over 5 is equal to 1. That's how you know that your fractions are. When the top number and the bottom number are the same, it's equal to 1. So 5 over 5 equal to 1. Or 6 over 6, 7 over 7. When the two are the same, it's equal to 1. So let me delete these now, because that'll prepare for the next class. Download the sheet and you can practice on your own. Maybe I could leave those lines there. How does that look? Make it a little smaller. Okay, oops, sorry about that. I'm trying to make it, you'll learn Excel as you go. Oh, there's no full justify. Okay, you can full justify sometimes so that the line is straight. So if you get that, let me quick look over here. Yeah, that's the next class, actually, addition of the two fractions. I might just do that class quick in the next fractions continued. Yeah. All right. I'll skip over to the next one. But before I skip to the next class, I don't know how many minutes this is. These are all the fractions below. I took this one as the example. So 4/20ths is equal to 2/10, to 1/5, to 5/25. All of these fractions are all equal to each other. If you do a pie chart, these would all be the same. I'll show you quick how to do a pie chart in Excel. Insert a chart. Oops, I forgot something. Sorry. You have to be, uh, where you want to be. I highlighted those. Insert a chart, and there we have it. And this is the percentages right in Excel. Now you got to make sure you got the fractions right. That's cheating though. You got to learn how to actually do the percentages. But once you know them, you can cheat and it calculates it for you. But you of course have to make sure you had the calculations right. I still have to figure out how to change the colors and everything, but you can also change the chart to another, chart style. You maybe instead of a pie chart, choose one of the others. Pie slice. Oh, you can change the colors here, so you can change it distance from center. Maybe you want a hole in the middle, play around with it. That's how you do the pie charts. Again, I'm going to delete that because I want whoever wants to do it, I want you to do it yourself. Um, okay, so we'll leave that. Why do I have that line there? Let me get rid of that. Okay, now we're doing Excel. That's right. And see the pie we just, even let's do this one. Same pie chart. Insert chart or whatever kind of chart you want. Chart. I like the, okay, well, we got a graph chart, but you can go over here and choose another kind of chart. Where is the thing? Column chart. Okay. We want to change it, to any kind of chart. But I like the pie chart. We have all these choices. We can make it like this, like a donut. You get the idea. I won't keep going. But I like the pie chart, and I actually like that slice coming out of it. That's kind of fun. I'll do this 3D one. Oh, I don't like the donut. How do I get the donut out? Oh, yeah, because I had the other one from center, line from center. Okay. What did I have in? Okay, sorry. I don't know. I fiddled with the numbers before, so now I can't. You get that. But again, see the same 83% and 16.7%, the same result we got with it. So the percentages, they're all equal to each other. Let me highlight this. Make sure that the blue is all around the chart when you want to delete it. Okay. Of course, when I'm actually doing it, I got to get rid of that. Okay, now we can delete it. So there we go. That's lesson 9. Thank you for coming and see you in the next class.